Hi, welcome to Business Insight Fredericton. I'm Krista Ross, CEO of the Fredericton Chamber of Commerce, and I'm your host. We're so happy to be back with Business Insight Fredericton after several months of following COVID-19 protocols. And I want to tell you that some of the segments in this episode were filmed pre-COVID. This episode is featuring businesses who have multi-locations, and that can be a great thing, but it can also pose challenges. In our first segment, we'll be talking to Patti Hollenberg. She's the co-owner of Hotchkiss Patisserie.
So we operate Hotchkiss Patisserie. It's a full-service cafe and pastry shop in the heart of downtown Fredericton.
I've always wondered, how did you come up with the name Hotchkiss Patisserie and Cafe?
We did want to acknowledge the previous tenant that was in this building. So they had a logo of a chess piece as kind of part of their branding, so we adapted that.
Patti, what's your role in the business?
So I'm co-owner, and I also oversee the day-to-day operations for our locations.
What's your background? How did you get into this business?
Okay, well, I am a pastry chef by trade. I have 15 years in the industry now. Both Red Seal certified, both in sweet and savory, but my work always brought me to the sweet side of the kitchens.
On the coast side?
Yeah.
And when did you open your business here in downtown Fredericton?
We opened Hotchkiss Patisserie in July of 2014.
This one.
Tell me about how you come up with the items that you put on your menu.
Well, originally it started out as all of my ideas, but then as the staff became a little bit more comfortable with being able to make products and they have the confidence to be able to make like food pairings and flavor pairings and whatnot, we now really rely on our staff to be able to be engaged in making some of our desserts.
I'm filling macarons.
How often do you change your menu? How often do you add new things?
We try to change things about 3 to 4 times a year. We go with the seasons, usually a lot of pineapple. Right now we have a yuzu and passion fruit.
Are you able to incorporate local products into your menu?
Oh, 100%. We like to incorporate seasonal flavors, especially when it comes to New Brunswick as possible. I'm a big fan of blueberries as well too, so local blueberries, I love it.
I am weighing up butter to be putting into croissanto.
So how many employees do you have here in the business?
During the height of the busy season, probably I have about 20 to 22 people on staff.
What made you decide to become an entrepreneur?
I really wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be able to have the freedom to do things the way that I had learned in the industry, or I wanted to be able to do things that I wanted to do.
So this episode of Business Insight Fredericton is featuring businesses that are in multiple locations. Mm-hmm. So you have your downtown shop here. Tell me about your other locations.
Okay, well, we have our location at the Beaverbrook Art Gallery.
The green is a chocolate whiskey, and then the yellow is a lemon meringue.
That was started when the art gallery did their renovations in October of 2017. So we just celebrated our 3rd anniversary there. And then we also have a little ice cream truck that we drive around the city during the summertime.
Tell me what about having multiple locations makes it a little more challenging?
Sometimes, and it's completely out of people's control, but obviously the big things that would affect being able to have or having multiple locations is weather. Staffing can sometimes be an issue. Sometimes it's a bit of a struggle, but it's a learning curve. You just get into retraining, logistics.
This is an award-winning business. Tell me about that.
We've been very, very, very lucky and fortunate to have received multiple awards, including a startup award with the Chamber of Commerce back in 2017. We've received multiple awards from Feast in the Field when we were first starting for Best Dessert. We've also been featured in BuzzFeed and Huffington Post for top desserts and best bakeries in Canada. 2 or 3 years ago, we were featured on Food Network Canada. We've received a lot more publicity than what I originally expected to receive, but it's been phenomenal.
Who would you say is your main clientele?
Our biggest clientele is obviously the working professionals. The staff of City Halls. We get a lot of staff members, working professionals, office crowd. During the weekends, we'll tend to have a little bit more of a younger crowd in here. So we really do get a mix of everyone, a nice mix.
So how do you find them? How do you market to them? How do you get your message out?
We're still trying to figure that out ourselves. So right now we rely heavily on advertising through Instagram and Facebook. Our products really do sell themselves. We're also in the process of revamping our website and lots of interesting work coming down the pipes.
Tell me how you feel about the current economy and the business climate here in Fredericton and in New Brunswick.
We've experienced continuous growth every year that we've been open, so I feel hopeful and about the future.
So tell me about the organizations that have been involved in the development or the growth of your business. Have you had organizations that have helped you along the way?
Obviously, the Chamber of Commerce has been a big influence and a positive advocational voice. Downtown Fredericton, the provincial and federal governments.
Patti, what challenges do you face in the day-to-day running of your business?
Staffing issues, product management, inventory.
What about challenges that face the industry?
Labor shortage, biggest issue. I think it's really important that people know that there's jobs here in New Brunswick. And a lot of people feel like they automatically have to move out west. But there's a massive labor shortage everywhere.
One of the things that happens when you're an entrepreneur is that everybody likes to give you some advice. Some of it's great and some of it isn't as helpful. But what's the best advice you've received as an entrepreneur?
Don't be afraid to take chances. Don't feel like you have to know it all. Play to your strengths and give your staff the ability to shine.
So you have the Chess Piece Patisserie and Cafe, you have the cafe in the Beaverbrook Art Gallery, you have your ice cream mobile truck. What other growth do you have?
As you are aware,
Wow.
Fredericton Airport is going through this massive $32 million expansion program, and we have been given the amazing opportunity to be the new food service provider there. We're excited.
In this segment, we'll be at Moco Downtown in the heart of downtown Fredericton. We'll be meeting with the co-owners of Moco Downtown and also Moco Mactaquac.
So Moco stands for our two oldest children. It's Morgan and Cole. That's the Mo and the Co. We've since had a third baby. Her name's Annabelle, and she's 5. And we've always said that we have one more project left in us. So she's getting to the point where she's going to start reading and figuring things out soon. So we better get going on that.
And when did you open the business?
We incorporated August 7th, 2012. We started off with catering, Moco catering and kitchen parties. And then moved on to Moco Mactaquac, and Moco Downtown opened, it'll be 4 years in March.
Wow, that's awesome. So when you decided to open a restaurant, how did you decide that it would be Italian?
So I grew up in Sault Ste. Marie. It's a very Italian-based culture. So I was raised Italian, even though it's not in my blood. So I'm very familiar with the food, and it's comfort food.
Who do you see as your main clientele here?
During lunch, it's a business clientele. We definitely have our regulars for lunch. Dinner, we have our regulars. We focus on families, date night, and family get-togethers. We do see a lot of tourists come through as well with the local hotels. It's great to have people in and to hear their stories from where they're coming from.
I know you do fundraisers sometimes for people whose health isn't good or community activities, and I know you host events. But what other community involvement do you have here at Moco?
So right now I'm on the board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce, and
Yay.
I'm enjoying that immensely. I'm learning, making great networking through different businesses and learning a lot. And I'm also involved in the downtown Fredericton, and they've been a great network for us, and we do attend meetings and try to keep up on what's going on downtown and offer our input.
What challenges do you face in the day-to-day running of your business?
Probably just focus on being on top of our game as far as service, making sure that the servers are trained and able to respond to their guests, and making sure that the kitchen's doing their job so we have consistency in the dishes. It's really important in a restaurant.
What significant barriers have you had in running your business?
One of the major barriers, I'd say, challenges that we've had to deal with and will continue to deal with is the street closures out front. The city's doing infrastructure work, and unfortunately they closed down the direct intersections in front of us, and we're like an island and people just don't want to come here.
So were people able to get to your business during that happening the last couple of years?
2 years ago, there was nowhere to park. It was only within walking distance. The summer that's coming up, they are actually closing down both intersections. So it's going to be very difficult for people to get to us.
So what we'll have to do as a community is make sure that we're supporting businesses like yours during that time and celebrating that you're open.
Yay.
And that we need to make sure you're able to stay open by us supporting your business.
Absolutely.
Tell me how having more than one location makes the regular challenges of running a business even more challenging. Or maybe it doesn't.
Not necessarily more challenging. I think it's a couple more obstacles that we deal with. One of the perks is the communication between the two businesses, that we're able to rely on each other. One of the challenges is making sure that guests are showing up at the right restaurant or making reservations at the right restaurant.
We'll get people that'll make a reservation Maxquack and show up at the downtown location to sit down and say, hey, I have a group of 6 coming in at 6 o'clock. And that's not the case because we were expecting about a Maxquack at 6 o'clock for 6 people. We share some of the same clientele, so we have individuals that are saying, oh, I had this at Maxquack or a Moco downtown. It was a little bit different. So we have that comparison, but small price to pay.
So you're the co-owner of the business and you're also the day-to-day manager. How does that work out for you?
The business at Maxquack is very unique, different compared to the one downtown, obviously. We're right in the lodge in the provincial park, so we kind of change with the seasons based on the clientele. Golfers in the summer, snowmobilers, sliders, skaters in the wintertime. So it's a very unique setting. We have the open fireplace obviously up there, and it's a lodge setting.
So for you personally, you're a partner in a business with a couple. How does that feel? Is it ever 2 against 1?
Shawna and Brian and I go back, way back. And so they're more family than they are just partners and friends.
So you keep different hours at the Maxquack location. How do you find that in terms of work-life balance?
It's interesting because in the wintertime we are only open the 4 days of the week, Thursday through Sunday. So it does allow for me to have a bit more time. Summertime, obviously we get rolling into 6 days of the week, so that does have me involved out there more regularly. But there's worse places to be than to have a job on a golf course where if it isn't busy, you can go out and golf. The biggest thing about being in the park that we run into is people think they have to pay to get in because they have to pay to go to the beach in the summertime. Plus there's that individual at the front gate. Once they get in there and they see that, it doesn't have that government feel, we are truly just a restaurant that's operating within a government facility.
How do you feel about the challenges that might be facing your industry?
People just don't have as much disposable income, I don't think, anymore. And to go out and make an evening out of it, whether it be with the family, is a unique and it's a special night for some people nowadays. And there's just not the opportunity to have those special nights 3 nights a week. So the restaurant industry, I think, is trying to figure out ways in order to try to convince those individuals to come out.
A lot of our workers/servers are minimum wage earners. So between WorkSafe NB and minimum wage and rising food costs, we just struggle with the bottom line.
Are there any regulatory issues that you face in this industry?
One of the issues I think we deal with is the liquor licensing. It is very outdated. We have a lounge license which doesn't allow anyone under the age of 19 to be in our building without being accompanied by a parent. So even if a 16, 17, 18-year-old want to come in and have some lunch, they aren't able to. So we would love to be able to cater to them and have a reasonable liquor license.
How do you feel about the economy here in Fredericton and the business climate?
I feel the economy is growing. I feel there's a lot of strength in the downtown. Despite all the construction they're talking about, it is bringing new office buildings into the downtown core, and that brings more people downtown.
Tell me about your interaction with people like accountants, lawyers, bankers. Are they people that are actually part of your sort of management team, or is it just someone you consult once a year?
I'm trying to get better at consulting. It's been a growing curve for me. I think we've taken on so much by ourselves and realizing that there's help out there to bring us to that next level.
What are your goals for the next year in the business?
I think I'd like to continue to see our clientele grow. We do have a good base of individuals, regulars that come from Fredericton, but I'm trying to convince those individuals that 25-minute drive from downtown Fredericton isn't that much of a deal.
My goal is to keep putting out good food. Our motto is good food is worth it. It's worth the extra time. It's worth the extra effort. So I want to continue to give good food out to Fredericton. What that looks like for Moco, we have some plans in the works that I'm not going to talk about quite yet, but there is definitely an expansion plan.
In the final segment of this episode, we'll be at Hotchkiss Home Furnishings. We'll be meeting with Elise and Chris Hotchkiss, and we'll learn what it's like to deal with a family business in multiple locations. We'll also hear about how they dealt with the pandemic and the impact it had on their business.
Well, Hotchkiss Home Furnishing started in 2010 here in Fredericton, but before that I used to work for another furniture company. I moved out west in Calgary and was running a few of their stores, and I remember saying to them, look, the salespeople are the brand. We should do this friendly family business concept and kind of really advertise that and kind of make that our main focus, the whole experience.
Tell me how many employees you have here in Fredericton.
So at any given time here in Fredericton, we usually have around 15 employees. We have like 5 to 6 salespeople, then we have admin staff, warehouse staff, delivery staff, and but with COVID-19 and things happening, we laid everyone off and then slowly started bringing people back, and now we're back to pretty much 15 again and looking to actually expand with online sales and different things.
Who do you see as your main clientele?
I find we offer a large range of products, so we can really cater to a lot of different age groups or demographics.
We try to have something for everyone.
So tell me about the online piece of your business. How has your business innovated during this time?
We're part of a big buying group, and we have like a generic cookie cutter website that someone in a head office somewhere would update. It wasn't very local and personal, which is kind of our thing, and it was just kind of there. But then when the pandemic hit and more people got comfortable buying things online, we started to see, okay, people are now way more comfortable buying things online. And then all of a sudden my phone will ding and it's like, oh, someone just bought a double mattress and wants it delivered to our Moco, or somebody just bought a bed, and it's like, okay, we need to really shift gears and start focusing on making our website more user-friendly.
So there are definitely some online businesses selling similar products to what you sell, and there have been some big disruptions in your industry. How has that impacted you?
We knew it was there, but is it really impacting us? But then, I remember I had this one lady, she came in the store. She's like, yeah, I'm just kind of looking for sofas, but I bought one last night online. And I'm like, oh, so why are you here looking for a sofa? She's like, I don't know, it's kind of impulsive, so I just want to see if I can maybe find something here. And I'm like, so really, you just bought a sofa online for like $1,000? She's like, yeah, I was up, I couldn't sleep. And she's like, but I'm kind of looking for this. So we took the time, we found her specifically what she wants. She went on her phone, she canceled her order, and then she bought one from us. And I'm like, okay, well this is a thing. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for us in that space for sure.
So how do you communicate with your clients and your potential clients?
Well, you know what? We do a lot on the radio. We do a lot of radio advertisement, but again, things are kind of changing. So social media is definitely the best way to get the message out there.
What would you say are the challenges that you face running the business day to day?
Well, right now, I guess in the new world, it's just trying to adjust to the way things are happening. Right now, people are buying furniture like crazy. So to have enough people to have the right hours to just try to, it's a fast pace right now, trying to to juggle all those things, I guess, would be one of the biggest day-to-day challenges, and trying to get all the things done at the end of the day.
Have you faced any barriers operating your business?
Especially with online and the big online retail giants, like that's something that we had to get used to. Like, you know, people are coming in with their phones and saying, I saw this here, can you guys get that, or can you match that price? And, you know, that's something new. Plus, you know, there's tariffs, there's aluminum tariffs, and like Whirlpool and appliances and things like that, where prices change quickly, and supply chain, and, you know, those are some of the main things we're dealing with right now.
Tell me how having extra locations makes the challenges a little bit harder, or maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, some different challenges in owning or having several locations. Sort of on the back end of things, as far as sort of coordinating even ordering our product to different locations, and shipping and that type of thing. Managing staff in 3 different locations. Yeah, it just was a bit challenging. And then for us, like Chris would travel. He travels to all of the locations.
So you've had a bit of a change in your locations. Tell me about that, Chris.
Well, you know what? We did open a store in Halifax just over 2 years ago, and that was my hometown. So like when we opened that too, we thought we were going to move back to Halifax potentially, because like in Fredericton where we opened, like we really got involved in things here, and we know everybody here, and our kids go to school here. So in the end, we decided, you know what, we're going to stay here, and I'm just going to make the trips. And like the store there was really big, but then when the pandemic hit, I didn't know what was going to happen, what the future was going to look like. And then, you know, we ended up finding a way to get out of our obligations down there, and we're actually still fulfilling obligations to Halifax. Like we're selling things online, we have a little warehouse there, like we have trucks that run down there. Technology, we have tablets that you can flip through in the store, and like you don't have to have as big a space. It was tough because you know, we had some good staff and some people there. Some of them though we've brought back to Fredericton, and everybody's doing okay.
So where's your second location?
We have one in Grand Falls.
So that location, it would be sort of similar to our Fredericton store. We would carry same product lines. It was a pre-existing store that we knew the previous owner, and she wanted to move on to other opportunities, so we took the store over.
So how do you feel about the business environment here in New Brunswick? What do you think the opportunities are like here?
I'm seeing a lot of people kind of moving back from Ontario, back from out west, and you know, their dollar goes a lot further. They can work remotely from here, which I think is great for our province, because we have a lot of, you know, it's a beautiful place. I think this is the place to be. I really do.
Tell me about your community involvement, and do you think that's important?
We've tried to focus and partner up with a few organizations, like we do a lot with the SPCA, we've done stuff with Habitat for Humanity, but then there's all kinds of like local initiatives that are always happening, so we like to try to donate to local auctions or be present or do little things wherever we can.
Are there organizations that you have gotten involved with that have helped you in your business?
The main one was definitely the Wallace McCain Institute, so you know, I was fortunate enough to be accepted into that, and I'd say the main benefit, like it's like an accelerated MBA program really, but you're getting all the like-minded entrepreneurs that have businesses in cohorts, plus you have the extended family of everyone that's been in it, so you almost have this, you know, mastermind of knowledge of all these people that just want to help your business succeed.
So you've talked a bit about organizations that have helped you in your business. What about professionals like accountants, bankers, lawyers? Do you feel like you have a team that works with you, or how important is that to you?
Yeah, so we definitely have a team of professionals that we are constantly working with and going to for advice.
Any exciting projects that you want to tell me about?
This fall will be our 10-year anniversary here in Fredericton, and 10 years, I guess, since Hotchkiss Home Furnishings opened, so we're really excited about that, and we have some exciting things planned.
We're always looking for great companies with a unique story to feature on the show. If you have suggestions, please get in touch with us.